Well, hello everybody, this is DearMamaSal, and it's Wednesday. I've just seen a guy who's probably a smoker, and he's got his garage door opener, he's got his deck chair out, he's in his shorts, and it's pouring with rain today, but never mind. He's in his shorts and he's reading a book. And you're going, that's retirement for you. Amazing. Anyway, it is 7 degrees in southern BC and 45 degrees in northern Washington state. That was so cute. And as much as yesterday I got triggered by a negative thing, today I get amused by a very cute positive one. He just looks so content. I think that's what struck me more than anything. I did the double take and it was just like, wow, he's just sitting there, must be freezing. He looks like, you know, if you took the same deck chair with him on it and planted it somewhere, you know, on the Mexican Riviera, he would look totally suitably dressed. The fact that he's sitting dressed like that in the rain in British Columbia, you know, but he's got his garage door open, so I presume that the garage door is sheltering him to some degree. And obviously the book isn't getting wet, otherwise he wouldn't still be reading it, would he? I mean, think about that logic. So really funny. For those of you who want to know, yep, this top was one of the t-shirts that I bought, the t-shirty sort of material rather, that I bought, and the black top that's over it, you can't really see that when I'm in the car, but that's also one of the ones that I bought. And the lipstick, for those of you who like to keep track, is Cheeky. I didn't realize that that's the flipstick. I didn't realize that I wore Cheeky as much as I apparently do, because every time I go to wear it, I go, oh, what lipstick was this? And then I look and I go, it's Cheeky again. So apparently I wear it more than I thought I did. And I've got about 16 other lipsticks that are in the same shade. When I say shade, they're all in the tangerine sort of shade. And I'm going, I really held them all up against this, and the Cheeky combination looked the best, so there we go. Right, whoever it was, and I really did go looking for this comment, and I couldn't find it, but so whoever it was that came up with the brilliant LL Bean Bean, could you please identify yourself on today's vlog or one of the upcoming vlogs or on a broadcast or something, so that we know who you are, because I wasn't the only one who thought that was I've just put on my rear view windshield wiper, the one on my back window, and it's doing all the right movements. The only thing is it's not touching the glass. How is that possible? How did it magically get bent? Somebody bent it. If I find that person. But it was so funny. I'm watching it go, and the rain's still on the window. I'm going, huh? Go figure. Oh, never mind. Thinks it's going to beat me. It can think again. I put on the demister. That'll warm up the window and dry up some of the rain. Think you can beat me, you can think again. It's Sal you're dealing with here. You know that. I don't quit. So I just wanted to thank those of you who gave me some support in terms of the fact that I'd made a comment about sometimes I wonder whether I'm doing any good here whatsoever. And for those of you who came jumping to the rescue on that one, I didn't mean it to be a seeking strokes thing, and I hope you know that. It was literally just a comment I made, because there are some days I literally do, I drive to work, and as I turn off the camera, I think, did I say anything of any significance? And I go, no, not that I'm aware of. And so, and then I start to doubt, whether what I'm doing has any effect at all. And then, of course, somebody will write to me, and I know that it was worth doing. And so forgive me if occasionally that comes out of my mouth, because it is my truth. I am not somebody who is superhuman. I have my doubts, like a lot of people. And it's important to know that it is helping people. To me, that's why I did it. And I didn't come on to YouTube to just sit and chat, if you know what I mean. I came to try and help some people. So it is important. And it was really difficult for me to realize that I might have sounded like I was in need of strokes, and it wasn't really where it was coming from at all. And I'm certain those of you who know me well understand where I'm coming from. There really are just some days when I think, I don't know. And one of the questions I asked myself, would I be helping more people in a better way if I just did 1 or 2 videos a week, and they were, more like I started doing right at the beginning, sort of PowerPoint presentations with stuff. And I get a sense that probably not. I get a sense that quite a few of you just enjoy the ramblings in the morning, and that the fact that you actually get to see my real life. When I say my real life, but you get me not when I've prepared something, but you get me with the things that trigger me and the things that make me happy and those sort of things. And I got a feeling that that's probably where there's a lady really nicely dressed, bless her heart, walking in the rain without an umbrella or a hood on her jacket. I suppose it seemed like a good idea at the time. And the gasp that you heard was I crossed the river, and I always check what the water level is under the bridge, the second bridge that I can see. And a couple of days ago, the water level was so low you could see the total circumference of the big pipes that run under that bridge. They're very big pipes. And today, you can probably see this much of the top of the pipe. That's a lot of water coming down there. And that means that when I cross the river, which I'm going to, the next river, it's going to be pretty impressive as well. Amazing how much, it doesn't feel like we had that much rain overnight, but apparently we did. So there's a lot of rain coming down the watershed from somewhere. It can't all be just from here. I wonder how everybody's doing. I know that Ashley told me that she had the Botox injections, and for those of you who don't know, Ashley suffers from severe leg spasms, enough that she actually quite severely cut her toe in one of those spasms earlier in the week, and she was having a series, I think something like 50 Botox shots into her muscles in her leg to try and freeze the muscles. And she did say when she wrote to me after they had done that they did what they call deep muscle injections as opposed to, I guess, surface muscle. And she found it much more painful. The question is it still painful today, actually? I just wonder. Because if this treatment only lasts a couple of weeks, and is that painful for you? That's I don't know why my sort of heart bleeds for you on that one. And I hope that it gave you some relief at least. And thank goodness you got an insurance company that will pay for that. Especially if you have to have it sort of that regularly, because I know it's very, very expensive to have those. And Robin, you've been on my mind as well in terms of whether or not you managed to get something organized with your mortgage provider. I hope so. Let us know, it'd be good. And I also wondered whether any of you got any nice plans getting ready for Easter. Have any of you got sort of family coming in or doing great stuff? I tried to check up on Dougie, for those of you who know Dougie, because this is a really, really busy time of the year. He does the big marathon here in May, and so this time of the year for him is insanely busy. In fact, the last 3 months are always insanely busy. He works sort of 7 days a week, morning, noon, and night at this time of the year, just to get everything ready. But I did write to him and tell him I loved him dearly, obviously. And said to him, if he was thinking of celebrating Easter at all, or wanted a hug, he knew where I lived. So sometimes that's enough just to trigger him to come visit. But I try not to do the guilt trip on him, because I know how busy, and he knows that I know that. I got traffic jam. Huh. It's an unusual time of the day to have a traffic jam here. As you know, I normally just don't get caught up at all when I come in at this time of the day, so there must be an accident somewhere. That's not good. Anyway, so we're all going out to lunch today. We're going to have a sort of thank you lunch for the young intern that we've had for the last 3 weeks. We'll be sorry to see him go. He's a really nice young man. And he doesn't actually go today, he goes tomorrow, but he's going to be out of the office a lot tomorrow doing fun things for his final day. So I wanted to make sure we all got a chance to thank him. So we're going to take him for lunch. And it's really so funny because normally... Okay, seriously. Okay, we've got construction type people all looking in the direction of where this traffic jam is. So it must be something worth looking at. Very confusing. Yeah. I'm still trying to get a bead on what's going on and I can't. But the good news is we appear to be moving a bit better than we were. And of course now the lights change. But I'll find out sooner rather than later, right? Okay, so I have plans to just do the normal broadcasts on Friday. And for those of you who know that I've been having some audio problems with Vaughan recently, Jenny Jen very kindly offered to be my guinea pig prior to the broadcast on Friday lunchtime. So she's going to come on board an hour early so that I can try and get this thing fixed. Not sure what's causing the echo, but of course once I get into Vaughan and create the echo, then it's almost impossible for me to get rid of it. And yet, if I then just go straight to Tiny Chat, it fixes it. So it's got to be something in the Vaughan setup, or it has to be something to do with that external system that I use to go into Vaughan, because the broadcast quality is so bad in Vaughan that I go with another program. And of course what happens is I'm inclined to be pushed for time whenever I try it, because you know I've just come on to broadcast and then there's the error, and so then you've got the stress of the time factor. So Jenny Jen's going to come on board an hour early, and she's going to just multitask as she does so well. Okay, so now I've got cop cars. Oh, there was an accident. Cop cars, fire brigade, everything here. Okay. And that's a major intersection for the rush hour. That's going to put me late for work, but it is what it is. And I won't be the only one, which is the good news. Anyway, I'm really appreciative that Jenny Jen will do that with me, so that's awesome. And undoubtedly she'll be continuing her spring cleaning. It was fascinating watching her do her spring cleaning, though. For those of you who were on the broadcast last Friday, she was literally working her way, I would say, in an anti-clockwise direction around one room, and nothing got left behind. You know what I mean? Every drawer was opened and tidied and wiped down, and it was just amazing to watch her. And it was the number of clothes that she removed from her room that were really impressive. So I was definitely thinking I could remove that many clothes from my closet and never see them again, and I probably wouldn't miss them. And I did think about that, you know, when I bought the haul last weekend. And I know some of you are really good at this. If I put one new thing in, I have to take one old thing out. And some of you do that really well. So the only way I can do this, I believe, and I'm thinking about doing it one day next week, is to take everything out of my main closet and only put back the stuff that I wear on a daily basis. You know, in other words, I've got a series of outfits that I wear for work. And I was thinking what I need to do is take everything out of that closet and just put back the combination of clothes. For example, you know, maybe this cardigan type thing, jackety thing, it's whatever, with this top with a pair of pants, you know, and just literally hang them in combination, not individual, just in combination. so that every morning I can just grab the next combination and wear it. Now, obviously, some days you want to mix and match them up a bit, that's fine. But I was thinking that would tell me how many combinations I've got. Now, I'm pretty good at what I do is I've managed to acquire the best part of 2 weeks worth of combinations. So the ones that I washed at the weekend are still in my laundry room, and I keep them there. And I only bring them back up again at the weekend when all this week's clothes are already in the laundry basket ready to get washed. So that way I know I'm not wearing the same things. You know what it's like, there's a certain outfit that you really like, so you're inclined to wear it all the time. So I try to make sure that if I can, that I don't wear things more than once every 2 weeks, or just about every 2 weeks. Now, obviously I'm going to have to mix and match what I bought last week, and this week I have worn basically all new stuff. I don't want to keep doing that, do I? So I'll mix and match these around in the coming week or couple of weeks. But it certainly would make getting dressed in the morning a lot easier, and I'm starting to do that. I notice I'm starting to actually hang things in combinations rather than, I've always had all my tops together and all the different colors. Now it gets a little bit more challenging when we get to the tops that I wear in the summer, but we're not at summer yet, so we'll worry about that when we get there. At the moment I'm sort of at more the t-shirty type top stage for the spring. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Once a wish, twice a kiss. I wanted to see whether I was going to actually sneeze 3 times. 3 times a letter. 4 times something better. Let me see if I can continue it. 5 times silver, 6 times gold, 7 of fortune, never to be told. There you go. Amazing things you remember from your childhood. So, and this all came about because of partially watching Jen, but also I've been trying to tidy up my life generally, as you know, this year. And it's a slow process, except I have to tell you that 1 hour a weekend in that back room is really beginning to amaze me. Now, it's a very difficult hour because it's throwing stuff away. I'm down to stuff that no longer will just quietly be put away. It's stuff that I've really got to look at and decide, do I still want this in my life or not? And it is really scary. Now, I've got a couple of old computers in that room. That I also need to say goodbye to. My old laptop is in that room, which I will keep in case anything happens to my laptop, because then at least I can just... I'm really pleased about the fact that I put all my stuff on an external hard drive, because if anything happens to my laptop, I can just plug in the external hard drive and carry on. It might be a little slower, the older laptop, because it doesn't have the capabilities, but at least I can function using a lot of the stuff. Now, when I'm about to change the external hard drive over to a new one, and that I'm trying to decide whether or not I'm going to put all my programs on the external as well. You know, and just literally keep the computer clear and clean. Which is a bit stupid when I got a tetrabyte of memory, which surprisingly enough is filling up with all the stuff I do with the vlogging. And not really surprising, is it? It's quite a lot of footage that gets stored before I edit it all down. And as you know, I don't do a whole lot of editing, so well, it's obviously going to rain all day, and so it's up to me to make it a bright sunshiny day anyway. Which is going to be fun. It's going to be a very choppy day owing to the fact we're all going out to lunch and everything, and the fact that hopefully the computer program that's been out at the office, we've had a major computer program that we basically is a vital part of our lives that has been out for 3 days. The server on which it was stored crashed, and I cannot tell you how difficult that's been. And you know, there was no point complaining about it. There was no point going every 5 minutes, so when is it going to be up and running again? Because they're doing it as fast as they can. And one of the things that I really have learned is, you know, you rushing in there every 5 minutes and saying, is it fixed yet, is it fixed yet? Really, it doesn't help anybody. At all. Doesn't help anybody at all. Okay, so I'm off to work. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I guess my thought for the day is, even if it's raining in your life, figuratively or literally, do what you can to brighten it up for yourself. This is DearMamaSal saying have a great day. Afternoon, evening, whatever. Bye-bye for now.